أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله.
Muslims, I believe, play a very important role in American society in many different capacities. Doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, laborers, and in those roles, they're like any other Americans. They're contributing to the well-being of the society here.
I think every minority group can say that it's the land of free unless you're white, unless you're something else, and I think that's subjective. There is some evidence that some groups are marginalized more than others. If you're actually talking about imprisonment, African Americans are the ones who are in prisons more than any other group.
9/11 के बाद दुनिया के हालात यकसर बदल गए। दहशतगर्दी के एक मंसूबे के तहत अमेरिका के ट्विन टावर्स को तबाह कर दिया गया, जिसके नतीजे में बहुत बड़ी तादाद में लोग जाँ बहक हुए और उनमें मुसलमान भी शामिल हैं।
This is what things were happening after 9/11, okay? Little girls, they took off their scarves. They don't wear scarves no more. Yeah, you wouldn't believe. They made fun of my religion and culture and where I came from. Did you report it? I told the school dean. She did nothing. Have things changed after 9/11? It made me scared to go to school. How old is she? 13-year-old girl. This is what was going on. This became a report.
9/11 के बाद वर्ल्ड ट्रेड सेंटर की जगह हलाक शुदगान की याद में यादगारें बना दी गईं और एक बुलंदोबाला इमारत भी तामीर की गई जिसे फ्रीडम टावर कहा जाता है। मगर एतमाद व यकीन की वो इमारत जिसकी बुनियाद अमेरिका में सदियों से बसने वाले मुसलमानों ने भरपूर वफादारी, मोहब्बत और दिन रात की मेहनत से रखी थी, ट्विन टावर्स के साथ ही ज़मीं बोस हो गई। इस वाक़ये के बाद मुसलमान पूरी दुनिया में शक्को शुबे की नज़र से देखे जाने लगे। बिलखसूस अमेरिका में रहने वाले मुसलमानों के लिए ये एक कड़े इम्तिहान का वक्त था। वो मुसलमान जो कि अमेरिका को अपनी धरती माँ समझते थे, उनकी वफादारी, मोहब्बत और अमन पसंदी पर एक सवालिया निशान लग चुका था।
When 9/11 happened, I think Muslims in North America were very insular. Maybe they were in their own communities, like the African Americans were in their own communities, the Indian Pakistanis and the Arabs, everybody were in their own communities. What I'm finding is that the more awareness there is around Islam, Islamophobia has the other end to it, where people are coming to us and asking more questions, and they're more interested in learning, and it's becoming more commonplace.
With the exception, clearly, of the sort of heinous terrorist acts, right? But I think that Islam, unfortunately, is at a moment in this country where the act of one Muslim speaks on behalf of the whole, which is not generally the case when it comes. I mean, other people face this in this country. The black community faces this, right, where the act of one black man means all black men. But this isn't the case in this country for Christianity or Judaism, so overwhelmingly, white Christian men shoot up schools, but it doesn't reflect on all white Christian men, right, unlike the experience of being Muslim. So unfortunately, when people who identify as Muslim, though I see no Islam in their act, commit acts of terror, this somehow reflects on all of us.
There are issues all over. It never stops. For example, after 9/11, I have a report here that we did with the Mayor's Office and Human Rights Commission, where many Muslims were discriminated against. And they were fearful, they were afraid. However, we worked with the community, we worked with the elected officials, and we built bridges. We hold iftar dinners with the elected officials, with the mayor, with the borough presidents, and it has built a bridge between the community and the Muslims.
We have our challenges, but that does not mean that we are not happy. The law says that we are to be treated equally, But again, it's that small majority that might make a lot of noise, but it's up to us as to how do we deal with that? How are we going to handle people that do not accept us?
Most of Muslim women do not wear the headscarf, right? So they're not visibly Muslim. Most Muslim women and men do blend into society. They have jobs like everyone else. They go to work, go to school, etc. And I think before 9/11, nobody even really knew what Muslim was, what it meant. After that, obviously, it became more visible. There was more hostility, but there's also more people wondering what it was, right? So they were like, what is this religion that everyone's talking about?
यही वो वक्त था कि जब इस्लामोफोबिया ने भी जन्म लिया और मुसलमानों के खिलाफ हेट क्राइम्स में बेपनाह इजाफा होने लगा.
Over the past 17 years, we see the ebb and flow of hate crimes against the Muslim community, but we do see that it's ticking up in more recent years. I apologize, the 2017 number, that's a typo. It's 36, not 34. We have 6 hate crimes for the year this year against the Muslim community, which should put us on track to be below last year's number, which again is the goal, but any hate crimes is still way too many, far too many.
मुसलमानों ने इस कभी फेल की हर जगह और हर सतह पर वाशगाफ अल्फाज में भरपूर मजम्मत की और इसको कतन इस्लामी तालीमात के मनाफी करार दिया.
We as a faith tradition have continuously condemned any type of extremism. Extremism from all sectors, whether it be from the left or whether it be from the right. We want to send the message to everyone in the world that Islam is a peaceful faith.
दूसरी तरफ खुशआइन बात ये रही कि अमरीकियों की कसीर तादाद इस बात पर कायम नजर आई कि अमरीका में बसने वाले मुसलमान मुहिब्बे वतन, तरक्की पसंद और अमन पसंद हैं और फ़कत किसी एक के इनफरादी फेल का जिम्मेदार सबको करार देना हकीकत पसंदी नहीं है.
Islam has been hijacked, been taken over by certain individuals who have a certain political view or a certain type of aspect, and they're utilizing that in a way to talk about their political views, and we have to stop that. And this is a time for Muslims to come together and make sure there is no space for extremism. There's no space in our Quran. It says, our Prophet stated so many times, if you hurt one human being, it's as if you've hurt all humanity.
There are minute groups of people in America who might have some derogatory comments or bad feelings towards the Muslim faith. But just like we try to remind our community, just like how many people take what the ISIS is doing and then try to generalize that with the whole Muslim community, we also can't do the same by generalizing a few individuals and saying, hey, all of Americans do not like Muslims.
No, so I mean, this country is great. It's not about living here. It's about us kind of coming together and seeing that this country as a whole was made for everybody to be able to live in. It's about us taking these leadership roles and making sure that it's safe, because at the end of the day, the people that are fear-mongering and full of hatred and this hateful rhetoric, they're the minority, but they have the loudest voice, right? The majority of people who are loving and peaceful, for some reason, they have a smaller voice. We need to have that majority speak louder so that we can drown out the hate voice.
So when you see people stand together, they don't just stand together as Muslims, they stand together as Americans, and they stand together as neighbors against any wrongdoing or any negative condensation of any culture or any background.